So you're thinking of buying a home in Denver, Colorado, and you're wondering, with the high prices and the high interest rates, how am I ever gonna be able to afford a house in Denver, Colorado? In this video, I'm gonna tell you the best strategy to buy a home in Denver, Colorado today. What's up everybody, this is Angel and I'm a real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. And if you want to learn everything about what's like to work, eat, sleep, live and play in Denver, Colorado, make sure you subscribe. And if you have any questions about making your move to Denver, Colorado, give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, or book a Zoom call with me. My information's in the description below. Now, this strategy is called house hacking, and it basically has the advantage of having the financing options available to owner occupants, but you also have a tenant in your property. In a market like Denver, where the median home price is about $570,000 right now, the goal of house hacking is really to reduce the amount that you would otherwise pay in rent. I like to think of house hacking in the money comfort spectrum. So on one end, we're gonna have your renting by the room, you're gonna make the most amount of money, but the most amount of inconveniences. And I'm gonna give you an example real quick. In the Denver metro area, you can get into a 6-bedroom home for about $600,000. This is a home that does not need much renovations, and it's perfect for house hacking. Assuming you put 10% down, your total monthly payment is going to be about $5,700 a month. And that includes principal, interest, insurance, and taxes. Now, you live in one room and you rent the other 5 for $800 a month, which is incredibly reasonable. You're going to collect about $4,000 in rent every month, and you're effectively lowering your monthly payment from $5,700 to $1,700. Here in Denver, the median 1-bedroom apartment is renting for $1,750. So you're saving $50 a month with this strategy as opposed to renting a 1-bedroom apartment. And at this point you're watching and you say, yeah, Angel, $50 a month, I don't want to do it. Well, the thing is, that is only in the short term. Rents are typically gonna increase in the long run, so that's gonna avoid your cost of living increase. If you were renting, it's gonna increase the amount of rents that you charge your tenants, and it's also paying down your mortgage. Think about where rents are going to be 15 years from now. Well, think about where they were 15 years ago. It's a completely different ballgame. Now imagine in the future when you can rent each bedroom for $1,500 a month, $1,700 a month. You're going to be making a lot of money at that point. Now, I mentioned the money comfort spectrum. So that was one side. That's the extreme side. That's what's going to give you the most amount of money, but it's also going to give you the most amount of discomfort. On the other side, you can buy a duplex. You buy a duplex and you basically live in one side and rent out the other one. So you're just sharing a wall, just like you would if you were living in an apartment. In that instance, you're not gonna make as much money, but you don't have to share your living expenses. So it's all about where in the comfort money spectrum you wanna be. And I'm just gonna say these strategies are just not for everyone. Not everyone wants to maximize the amount of money that they can make renting, and that's okay because everybody has different needs. And those are the two sides of the spectrum. On one side, you're renting by the room or even by the bed, and on the other side, you buy a duplex, rent the other side. But as I mentioned, it's a spectrum. So the question is, what's in between? Well, there's also triplex, which is 3 units. There is quadplex, which is 4 units. And also you can have different strategies in different units. So let's assume you get a quadplex, which is 4 units. On one unit, you rent it hostel style. You put it on Airbnb, you rent by the bed. You have 15 or 16 beds in your home. On the other unit, you can have a midterm rental for someone who maybe is working remotely. They're only going to be here 4 or 5 months. It's a different kind of tenant. And in the other unit, you can have a long-term tenant that's there for years. So even within the spectrum, you can use different strategies to maximize your money. There is unlimited combinations, and it all depends where you want to be on the money comfort spectrum.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
Now, that's house hacking in a nutshell. I can go on and on and on forever, but now I'm gonna tell you the current strategies that we can utilize today. I know many lenders, and one of them is actually offering 0% down You just pay your closing costs and you can buy up to 1 or 2 units.
We accept that deal. Thank you so much. Good job.
And we can even have the seller pay for your closing costs. So we can really quickly run the math and see if this is something that can work for you. Of course, you have to qualify for that loan, but let's assume that we can find a seller that has a duplex, they want to sell it. They're willing to pay the closing costs. Your current rent is, let's say, $2,000 a month, and your mortgage payment after you put the tenant is the same $2,000 a month. In my book, that's gonna be a win. Even if your expenses stayed the same month to month, the rents are gonna increase, your loan is gonna be paid down, and that came at no cost to you. So over the long run, it's gonna be an awesome investment. I know another lender, and this lender does 40-year mortgages. I would typically not advise getting a 40-year mortgage for obvious purposes. I just don't believe people should be in debt for that long. However, when you're house hacking, especially if you want to be a landlord in the future, which I know a lot of people want to be, you have the advantage of making interest-only payments for 10 years, and then the 30-year loan kicks in. So for the first 10 years, you're not gonna make any payments to the principal. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Angel, but then I'm not getting the advantage of actually paying off the mortgage, which that's 100% correct, but you would get more money on the front end. And what happens is you basically have 10 years where you can start at a lower entry point in terms of the rents that you're charging your tenants. You're gonna have 10 years where you're increasing the rent for your tenant, and then on year 10 you have enough money so that you're cash flowing on that property. Hopefully by that time you already moved on to a new house and you're just using that house as a rental. Also, house hacking does not have to be forever. You can utilize this strategy for maybe 2 or 3 houses so that you're building your rental portfolio, and then you can buy your dream home. Or maybe you can just do it the first time and you figured, hey, I didn't really like this strategy, I don't want to have a tenant. At that point where you realize you don't want it anymore, you can sell the property, you can do rental arbitrage. So there's some people, basically, they would be willing to pay you more in rent so that you allow them to sublet that property to other people. So you can rent it to some of them. You can sell it on seller finance and make money on the spread. There is a lot of strategies that we can utilize to exit that property and still make a lot of sense for you. If you have ever thought of being a landlord, this is a great opportunity to get started. It's a great opportunity to lower your living costs. And I know people that have actually negative living expenses every month. Basically, the amount of money that they make from the tenants covers their payment and more than that. So they're making money just by living there. There is very little downside and there is a lot of upside. So I really encourage this strategy. If this is something you're thinking about, just let me know. We can run some Excel spreadsheets together and see if this is something that makes sense for you. Let me know in the comments where you think you would fall in the money comfort spectrum. And as I mentioned, I'm Angel, and if you have any questions about making your move to Denver, Colorado, feel free to reach out. My information's in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.